how to create your own custom logo using Adobe Illustrator. There are many different ways you can accomplish this. So I'll share some tips and insights in this tutorial. Let's just create a new artboard and let's just make some sample layers. Let's imagine you drew your own custom logo. Then you can take a picture on your mobile phone and upload it to your computer. That's one way. You can place that picture and then perhaps even trace it. Okay, so that's quick and easy. If you want to do that, you can do that. That option is there for you. And let's imagine you've got a hold of some free Illustrator files from some website. And perhaps you can work on those and change it and do whatever you want with it. So that's another way. Or you can use the pre-built-in symbols, whether it is 3D symbols, break the link, and then just work on the symbol. So depending on which Illustrator version that you're using, you may have pre-made symbols for you to work with. Let's imagine web icons. Let's grab the love heart, put that there, break the link to the symbol library. Now that's on our artboard. We can work with it. That's on a layer. Let's duplicate the layer just to show you what we can do. So now we've got two heart shapes. You can perhaps resize the other one. And now we can perhaps select all, use the Pathfinder and unite them. Or let's undo unite, divide them, and so on. So simply experiment with the different shape modes using Pathfinder. You can perhaps trim some of them. So let's press on Ctrl Z, shortcut for back. It's an undo. Now we can do something like this using direct selection tool. Grab that and cut that out and delete that. We can perhaps change the color to be something different. So Pathfinder is actually a great tool for you to easily create different unique shapes and so on. Well, let's imagine we've just created a square using the shape tool. We can do something like this. Let's also use the ellipse tool. Hold the shift on your key so it's perfect circle. Change the color so that you can work with it easier. Let's align it to the center. Align it to the artboard. Center. Let's do something like this. Let's actually do something like this. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, duplicate. Let's work it like so. Now we've got two shapes. Let's divide that. Let's remove that part. Let's put that there in the middle. We can group certain shapes and then let's now divide that to see what sort of shape we ended up with. So it's just a matter of playing around with your Adobe Illustrator file to create your own custom logos. As I've said to you, you could easily draw your own custom logo and upload the file to Illustrator and trace it. You can use the pre-built-in symbols, there is many different ones. Let's imagine arrows. You can say, okay, what if I grab this arrow, drag it to the artboard, break the link, and perhaps make it enlarge it. Let's copy, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Let's turn it around while holding the Shift key so it's perfectly aligned. So we can maybe do something like this as an example. And we can perhaps unite all of them. Okay, so we could do that too. And as I've said, Pathfinder is actually a great tool to play around with shapes to come up with your own design. Let's duplicate them. Shortcut keys are important. Shift, Alt. Shift key, Alt key, and spacebar. Let's do that. As we can see, let's duplicate that. Let's resize it. Let's change the color. Align it to the artboard. Center, 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 center. So that we've got two layers. So now we can say, okay, what if we actually unite the shapes or divide the shapes? From here I can say, okay, how about some effects? Perhaps drop shadow, preview. That looks a little bit better. So multiply, let's say normal color. Opacity, let's say 90%. It's a bit more strong, as we can see. Let's offset, y-axis 17 pixel, x-axis let's say 17 pixels as well. And we can even change the color. Okay, so creating your own custom logos using Adobe Illustrator is a straightforward process. Then you can also add text once you're happy with your shape. Let's say ABC business. So now we've just created some text. We can enlarge it like so, or enlarge it from here. Let's make that 99 points, some pixels. Let's align it to the center. We've got many different fonts. Some of them perhaps may look better. Let's say Arial or Arial rounded. Looks a little bit different. Now that's a text. Object, expand. Now that's expanded, so that means it's no more text. It is vector. You can zoom in and say, okay, what if we do something like this now? Grab that, only press the V key on our keyboard and change it around. Or we want to perhaps put drop shadow only on this. Let's go to drop shadow again, but this time let's make it black color. Preview. That's too far out. Just want a light drop shadow. Let's say 55%. There's an opacity. That looks a bit more better. Zoom out. Let's clean the artboard. Unlock it. Move it up. How about a line? Let's put a line underneath. Give it a color to the line. Let's, while holding the Alt key, just duplicate. Change the color to be black. Yes, that is black. Because we're working with lines here an Adobe Illustrator vector, we can select all the lines and say, you know what, I want that stroke to be a dash line. As we can see, Adobe Illustrator is a powerful tool. We can do many different things. So now let me show you this as well. Let's say while holding the shift, let's create a perfect circle. Center it, go to our gradients tool, or use the pre-built-in gradients. Let's say simple radials. Let's say, okay, how about this? Or add different colors to the gradient. Okay, so Adobe Illustrator is a fun software program for you to create unique custom logos or designs for your requirements.